It's August 15, 2022, and we're in Heraklion on Crete. I came last night around 8-9 o'clock to meet and try the woods from Manolis here. Manolis, thank you for the hospitality and everything.
My pleasure.
So this review is going to be in English, and it's important to present to you this woodmaker, Luthier and woodmaker. As most of you know, I came from Washington DC, and I came specifically in Heraklion to meet Manolis in person, because we were friends for a long time. But his passion about the woods was the one that inspired me to design with him together this wood, and you will see later why. So I left from Maryland, Washington DC, and I came here in Heraklion. And actually I'm going to leave after a couple of hours. And we're here to show you two of his woods. One is completely his inspiration. We're talking about these instruments about more than 2 years. And this one is something that we work together. It's the Pegasus model. You know, my logo is the Pegasus with the skull and everything. And we have also different bracing that we won't give you a lot of details about it, but you will see why I like this instrument. Actually, I like both of the instruments, but now I decided to move and start playing the 8 courses wood. I started playing the 7 courses wood about 15, 20, 12, 13 years ago. 13 years ago. No, 15 years ago actually. From 2000, yeah, 15 years ago. So, what is so special about these woods? Manolis, first of all, the neck is for really fast playing. I like the crispiness of the sound. You will see what I'm talking about. This is actually tuned one whole step higher and an extra course of trebles than the standard that you're going to see here. They're both with a single hole for sound reasons, quality of the sound and the projection of the sound. Of course, fine-tuning pegs that are very important for a professional musician like myself and everyone, even my students, when they come and they ask me, you know, there are issues. For instance, where I live in the United States, we always have the problem that they call me and they say, you know, Usta, my pegs are loose or they got stuck and they need help. So this is also an issue that was being taken care of. The woods for this particular model are chosen according to the sound that we want to project. This, for instance, the Pegasus model has cedar on the top, walnut on the back, etc. You can see it's not a fancy wood instrument that exists in the market. This is a more decorated one, more fancy. So Manolis, what inspired you to start making the woods? You started since you were very young, right? Playing the wood?
Yeah, but I realized that I love the wood more than music.
Okay, that's wonderful. Because if you love the wood, you love the music too, and you inspire us to come here and try your instruments. So, we're going to play both of the woods. I'm going to try a little bit of one and the other, and we will discuss about the specs of these two instruments. This is a shorter scale instrument inspired by the Iraqi kind of sound, but with a different tuning. Now, this instrument is a 7 course, this is an 8 course. This wood right now is tuned in a low tuning, as we call it. Some people like to call it Arabic, Iraqi, you name it. By my perspective, names are names. What's important is how we play the instrument and what we project through the instrument. This one you will see today that it has a little bit different sound. It's more soloistic instrument. Of course, this one is too. But it gives you the opportunity to be able to play in both ranges. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Yesterday I came at 8 p.m. and we stopped the setup at 3 a.m. So the instrument is not completely set up yet, but it's beyond my expectations. So listen to this. Okay? So, what I like about this instrument is the crispiness. Such a range from the bass with the crispiness and the trebles all the way to the frequencies of even a mandolin. Some of you will say, oh, that's too high. There's always the second opinion that no, that's better to have more than to have less. I believe that due to the fact that we have a very short neck on the oud, we need to compromise. Not all of us, some that they don't have the skills, so some people that they don't want to play here on the soundboard, because sometimes the instrument doesn't project the sound that we want. We compromise, in parentheses, and we avoid to play inside in the soundboard. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. And that's the reason that I picked this instrument, and this is the reason that I'm going to use this instrument, and it's going to be the Pegasus. So this is a collaboration that we started with Manolis, discussing for how much? 2.5 years? 2.5 years. The bracing also is different from the usual that you know. I mean, I'm talking about the luthiers and the players. And this is an instrument that actually we can use by playing in higher octaves. So we're going to play, as Manolis is also a note player, we're going to play a small part of a composition so you can see what I'm talking about. Soundboard, and of course the instrument vibrates everywhere. So with all the harmonics and the sound that it should be. I prefer my ouds to be very low action. That's very personal. Some like it more not to be that crispy, the sound. I like it. I like crispiness. The advantage with these instruments are that they're The neck is carbon reinforced, and it's with the latest Luthier technology and advantages. So I'm gonna take now this one. So it has this deep percussive sound if you want, depends, you know, on the accent that you want to give. I think that this is an instrument that definitely can play the Arabic repertoire, of course. And because I don't want to give identities to the instruments, they ask me what style of wood do you play? I play wood. No, I don't put tags. And I'm not interested to put tags. I like both. This is a 58.8 centimeters. Easier, much easier than a 60 centimeters one or 59, 61, even 61.
Even 63.
Even 63. We have a friend, I admire this guy. He plays with, what's the length?
63.
63. And this guy, I'm telling you, he's good. He plays Cretan music with the wood. Very nice person, I like him a lot. Personally, I cannot. I got used to the shorter scale instruments, and I'm really happy that I don't have to stretch my fingers anymore, you know, probably I'm getting older. So, Manoli, what do you have to tell us about these two instruments? What are the woods for this one?
Eastern Indian Rosewood.
Eastern Indian Rosewood,
And
yes.
Cedar top, Canadian.
Cedar, Canadian cedar on the top.
Abalone.
Market trees, right?
Yeah. And
Feelings?
ebony fingerboard with exotic ebony.
Exotic ebony on the fingerboard. As you see, I don't know if it's obvious on the video.
All the inlays that
All the
margin
inlays.
off
Yeah.
up to point.
And these instruments are 100% handmade. So this guy spent a lot of time literally breaking his hands, endless hours to make these instruments. Why I mentioned the handmade instrument? Okay, the reason is that sometimes we can have an instrument that was made in a company by a company. I'm not judging, I'm just saying. And somebody to make one peg, or you know, the value of the handmade instrument is different. His time and spending and devotion and passion about the instruments, it's much more powerful, okay? As you know, I have a lot of foods from many makers. All of them, I respect them, and all of them, they are my friends. And if someone asks me, Spyro, which one is your favorite instrument? Okay, which one is your favorite flower? All the flowers have their own perfume, you know? Each flower, like Master Nikos Saraouda says, each flower has its own perfume. Yes, for a new player, we want variety, but when it comes to go on stage and to be able to perform with an instrument, we gotta make sure that we exclude a lot of problems. For instance, the 3 sound holes, it's a problem. It's a problem for me when I play with thousands of watts. It's not a problem when I play on the recital and I have a very sophisticated microphone in front of me. It's the problem starts when I have to be on the stage with 7, 3, 4, 5, 20,000 people. And I need to amplify myself with an acoustic instrument. That for the wood is the nightmare, our nightmare. So, on this one and that one, we can use sound holes to cover it. Not sound holes, the covers to cover the sound hole. Sorry guys, I'm only with 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but it's worth it. Totally, it's worth it. And of course, we, with another friend of ours, we have developed a new system of amplification of these instruments. And it gives the right sound with the right acoustic sound, because we don't want to imitate any sound by sampling.
No, it's natural.
Whatever you hear, it's what you're gonna get through the amplification. And actually, this was the biggest challenge we had, which also was a project that took about 1.5 years. So, but with another person that we will discuss about it. So, right now, what can I say? First of all, Manolis, I'm proud to be your friend, okay? I know you since
I was a student.
Since you were a student back then, and I used to have black hair. And with no comments and no more talking, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye from Crete, the wonderful and beautiful island of Crete. More adventures, instruments like this will be presented also in the future. We will have concerts with these kind of instruments, these models. And pretty soon you will see more updates about Manolis and me. As I said, I have many oud players, friends, many luthiers. We all have, I love them. We are the Oud family. But I think it was a good chance to give a chance to Manolis to show you his work.
Thank you.
And to share his instruments with you. Stay safe and see you soon.